Hey, howdy there again, folks. Megan, of course, Brandon Wenzel, come back at you. Another offering of my Sampler Platter. Yes, indeed, folks, Sampler Platter videos, series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Work over there to have food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then I talk about stuff. I let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious crap that you can put in your mouth and go about your day with consumption and the converting to energy. And then, hopefully being productive. Or you could not. You could just watch me go over there and eat crap and then, I don't know, gawk? Sure. It's on your end, folks. Elon Musk might know what you're doing at this point, but Brandon Wenzel, I'm a man of the people, okay? I got no interest. Just be cool with everybody. Anyway, while I'm over there in the truck, if I'm in the truck, I must have found a thing on the way to a place. It's actually not the case today. I specifically went out to find a thing. I'll get to that thing in a moment. While I'm doing this, I usually wear cool shirts, or at least I try to. Today, boom, Clutch shirt. Clutch, if you're not familiar, how could you not be familiar with Clutch? They're amazing. They've been around for quite a while now. Excellent band. Definitely check out their stuff. I love their stuff. I've got to see them live with a friend a few weeks ago at the time I'm doing this. And this shirt is my souvenir of said experience. But there's a caveat, because I always love picking up band merch when I go to concerts. By the way, go to concerts and buy merch and stuff. Support, the artists you enjoy. Don't go over there and be like, oh, I got them on Spotify. Spotify is nothing. Spotify is nothing. I'm not saying don't use Spotify. Use Spotify. Do not use Spotify and think that you're in any way helping the artists that you enjoy. If that's the case, then go find them and literally throw pennies at them. Okay? Because you'd be doing more for them. Go buy their merchandise. If not in concert, go to their websites and stuff. Rant over. Anyway. But yeah. At the time of the show, unfortunately, I was dealing with some financial issues that were unexpected, and I didn't have access to my funds, so I couldn't buy a shirt, but it turns out I was able to buy this one. It's like, not aftermarket, but it's like, from like a secondary retailer or something like that, so, and it's the actual touring shirt. It's got the dates on the back. Anyway, I was talking about a thing that I went and I found. What's the thing? What did I find? Well, folks, this is an interesting one, because I don't think I've ever featured this particular establishment on my show. Because, boom, we are doing the White Castle 1921 slider. What the hell is a 1921 slider? Well, folks, White Castle has been around more than a minute. In fact, I think they've been around since 1921 or so. Or at least that's when they started making sliders, or something. But anyway, the 21 slider, it's supposed to harken back to the days, when they were making proper sliders, with some real meat on it, and, that whole thing. So you can see, it's a little bit beefier. Now, my only point of contention, upon looking at it underneath, I'm seeing a pickle. I'm seeing some onions. The pictures of it had like tomato and such. So, yeah. Okay. I've got to admit, I'm a little bit disappointed by that. Now, here's the thing, folks. I was actually going to go over there and complain about the time it took to get my food, because it took a little while. But the lady who was inside the establishment, I'm guessing she was probably the manager, she was working by herself. So I don't know if this is like 100% representative of the thing, if it is supposed to have the tomato and such. We're just going to go with it as is. But here's the thing, folks. We got to do a proper comparison, because, boom, we've also got a classic slider right next to each other. So we're going to do 1 and 1. And here's the thing. Anybody who watches my show, I'm not a pickles guy. Typically, when I get White Castle, I throw those fuckers off, because I'm not a big pickle guy. But I got 2 of each, so I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try one with pickle, one without a pickle. which is the way that it's the way America should do it, folks. I'm sorry. I don't get the pickles. I don't absolutely hate pickles. Okay, in fact, I dislike onions way more than I dislike pickles. I just don't think that it should be inherent on the burger. I think it should be something you should have to request. That's my personal take, hot take, whatever you want. Let's try, you know what? Let's try the classic slider first, okay? And, I mean, you can see, it's got, the bed of onions on it. It's got a pickle on it. I like White Castle. It is not an every time kind of situation. It will absolutely mess your day up, and when it comes time to use the washroom, there ain't no two ways about that. But I do like them. I do. If you, they're somewhat reasonable or regional. They're somewhat regional. I know. Of course, you had Harold and Kumar, the kind of up. Man, oh man, I don't know how the hell they managed to swing that deal, but I do enjoy White Castle every now and again. Now, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to ditch one of the pickles. I don't need two pickles. It's a small-ass slider, so let's eat a slider. Pickle. The pickle isn't a bad taste, but it's such a potent taste. I just find it obtrusive on most things. Like, I want to taste the beef. I want to taste, that's what I'm here for. I mean, ultimately, it's a White Castle slider. If you're familiar with it, you either love it or hate it. There's kind of an all in between with White Castle. A lot of places, McDonald's and such, you can kind of go middle ground on it. And that's probably more where they live. White Castle, they're just their own thing. And you either go with it or you don't. I personally go with it. It's not the best thing you're going to ever eat, but there is a weird place in my arteries for White Castle. I enjoyed the slider. It was tasty, even with the pickle. I just could have done without it personally. Let's do the 1921. See if it tastes like polio. I'm not gonna lie. That's an entirely different experience. Like 100%. I pretty much just expected it to be a thicker slider. But no, like, there's some actual beef taste going on with this. Now I got the pickle going. And they also, I don't think they used the bed of onions for this the way that they did with the classic slider. It was more just like a couple of bigger ones. Again, I don't see a point of the pickle. I actually would have really liked, having tomato on there. I think tomato works very well. It's a subtler flavor. Adds a little freshness. But yeah, it's White Castle. It is what it is, but in my entire life of eating White Castle, and I've eaten a fair amount of White Castle, though not really in the last few years, that is quite possibly the first time I've eaten White Castle slider where it tasted close to an actual slider. Like that, genuinely had a nice beef taste to it. You could, White Castle, their classic sliders, they're thin, they're made to be, made really quick in large batches. They got the bed of onions. They are, for all intents and purposes, they're an assembly line experience. They've worked out all the little details to make them quick, but to still have them have flavor. And they taste like White Castle sliders. Like, they really do. What a White Castle slider tastes like is not a proper slider, in the sense that, the beef is so thin, you've got so much onion going on, you're not getting a really good beef experience. You're getting a White Castle slider experience. And like I said, some people like it, some people hate it. But the 1921, I'm not saying it's, a top tier slider. Personally, what I would like to have seen, I would have liked to have seen them go over there and also have like a special bun. Maybe do something, maybe, butter it and toast it or some shit. I don't know. But it's not, like I said, it's definitely not going to be, it's not going to be comparable to, like a pub slider or, one that, maybe you make at home. I've never made sliders at home, personally. I've never known anybody who's made sliders at home. But I'm not saying it's on that same tier, but it was actually really solid. It tasted actively better. It tasted like a burger, like a slider. You could taste the beef, and it clearly tasted. I believe that the advertising says that, they're made fresh to order. I would actually believe it with that. It was very juicy. It really did a good job. In terms of if I recommend it, I absolutely would. But it's a weird thing because it's okay, who would I recommend it to? If you're somebody who already enjoys White Castle, clearly give it a shot. But the thing is that if you're somebody who, you're a devotee of the classic slider, it is a different experience. So, maybe it won't be so much for you. That depends on your personal taste. Thing is, if you're somebody who isn't that big into White Castle, and to be fair to White Castle's got quite a few things, man. They got some great sides and stuff. So, I'm just saying. But if you're one of those individuals who maybe you're not a big fan of the slider, I would say give it a shot. It's genuinely pretty damn solid. It's, like I said, it's not going to change your life or anything, but you saw it. I was actively surprised at how different the flavor was, at how much more it felt like a genuine product instead of something that's been, honed over decades of time to be as cheap and as easy to produce as possible. This was definitely something where it was no, this actually felt like, maybe not love, but there was at least some level of care that went into it. Would I have preferred it, with a topping of tomato instead of pickle? Yes. But even with the pickle, I'm going to let it go. And the thing is, too, if you're going to do a thing, maybe I would have gone over there and had a different type of pickle. Put a Vlasic on there or some shit, give it a little extra crunch. I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm actually not going to, I genuinely feel like the two burgers I've had did a fine enough job. I'm not going to do the other two. Those will just be my lunch. I will, however, make this statement. They, along with the 1921 burger, they also advertised that they had Coca-Cola cream soda, which was very interesting and piqued, my interest. And I ordered it, and they apparently ran out. So, this is Sprite. So what I'm planning to do, since I've got my shirt on and such, I think there's another White Castle not too far from where I'm at, and provided they have it, I'll go there and, try that out. That's the plan, because it seems like an interesting enough thing to do. But anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. If you could go there and have yourselves a 1921 rest of your life, probably not. I mean, I wasn't there for the 1920s. I mean, I know it was swinging. That was the whole thing. So I'm sure there was that end of things, but I also imagine there was a shitload of racism and bigotry, and again, polio, lead paint. Then were we past World War I at that point? I think we were. I like history, but dates I'm not always the best on. But I know World War II was more the late 30s into the 40s. So we didn't, but we didn't have Hitler to deal with yet. I mean, he was around, but he was just being a general dickbag, not Führer dickbag. But I still would imagine, but the 1921 burgers are good. Final 2 things for you folks. Try to bring some positivity in the world, folks. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated, even if it doesn't always feel like it. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You try not to be an asshole, okay? Not always going to succeed. You're going to have those moments. I was over there, was waiting drive-through for my food. There were 2 people in the car behind me. They were bitching and moaning and this, that, and the other thing. And eventually the dude got out and walked away. I don't know what was going on. I'm not judging. But maybe those folks need to dial it back just a little bit. Mitigate the level of assholishness in their lives. Or maybe they had perfectly valid reasons for the situation to be what it was. I don't know. Very final things, folks. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to do. Maybe you're going to go over there and talk to, a random fast food establishment and go over there and get them to harken back to a random date in their history. Why the hell not? Retro is all the rage, right? Let's go over there, the McDonald's did a poll recently online. Well, not a poll, but they asked people hey, what items would you... You had people bringing up the McPizza and, all kinds of stuff. Come on. Let's make this happen. Taco Bell's got about 1 million fucking items I'd like to see come back. Come on, Taco Bell. You know you ain't right. I mean, they're bringing back the Mexican pizza. Yes, I will probably review it when it comes back. But, anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me, all right? Bye.